Hey everyone. For those of you who are new here, I'm Josh, and in this video I want to share with you 3 tips that I believe can help you conquer self-doubt. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So the first tip is to remind yourself of everything you've already made it through up until this point. All those things you've accomplished in the past, all the difficult moments you've surpassed, everything like that. Because all too often when we're doubting ourselves, guess what we're not thinking of? All the difficult things we've already made it through up until now. And all of us have made it through difficult things, right? Some of us are probably a bit too humble or modest, and we rob ourselves of that. But we have all made it through very tough moments in life. So don't rob yourself of that by acting like you haven't made it through anything difficult when you surely have. Remember all those moments, and especially remember the moments where you didn't think you had what it took to get through that difficult thing or to achieve something you had your mind set to. Because again, that shows right then and there that even when you're doubting yourself, you still are able to push through and do things that are difficult, to accomplish great things. So remind yourself of that. This is something in your back pocket. It's like something on your resume for jobs. You have this experience in the past. Don't forget it. It can help you keep going in those difficult moments when you feel like you don't have what it takes to keep moving forward, when you're going through something that is very tough for you to handle. Remind yourself that you've already done that before. You've already been there. Maybe not in a similar experience, of course, but if you've done something like that in the past, you can probably get it through whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. So this is something I like to do with myself often because I've found it's just super helpful for getting through self-doubt. Just reminding yourself that you've already made it through difficult things, so why wouldn't you have what it takes to do that one more time in the here and now? Now let's move on to tip number 2, which is work on developing a more supportive mindset. So the first thing you're going to need for this is self-awareness. You're going to need to know when you're actually doubting yourself, when you're allowing your thoughts to get in the way of you creating the life that you want. Because all of us have been there and done that. But you can get to a point where you can actually develop enough awareness to catch yourself doing this in the moment and then rejecting that inner voice that is doubting you, telling you you're not good enough, telling you you don't have what it takes, that you need skills that you lack, whatever it may be, whatever BS excuses that inner voice likes to give you. You can notice when this is happening and just throw in a new voice that rejects that inner critic and says, hey, you know what? Even though I may feel like I'm not prepared for this right now, I can surely handle it by just taking one step at a time and figuring things out as I go. It's all it takes. You can just start being a bit more supportive with your own thoughts. Remember, the ways that we think are not permanent. You're not stuck thinking the way that you currently think for the rest of your life. You can work on this. This is something that usually is dealing with a lot of conditioning from our childhood and growing up, so you can start to reject all that BS conditioning that you dealt with getting up until where you are now today. And it's especially helpful to dive into your childhood for getting rid of a lot of this, because a lot of us did deal with conditioning from bullies, from unsupportive parents, from teachers that may have been a bit weird to us for whatever reason. You know, teachers may have their own hang-ups. There are plenty of sources of people who would have doubted us or gotten our way and made us not believe in ourselves. But realize that that immediately means maybe this isn't something that you were born with, right? I highly doubt you came into this world doubting yourself. Like, how often do you see a baby learning how to walk and they fall down and immediately give up and doubt themselves? They don't do that. You don't see that. I'm sure maybe it happens occasionally, probably incredibly rarely, because a baby giving up is counterintuitive. Why would they do that? They need to learn how to walk if they want to increase their odds of survival, so they're going to do whatever it takes to walk. It's not going to be something where they fall down and they're like, oh crap, I suck, I'm not going to amount to anything in life, I can't do this, and then they stop doing it. That's not the way babies function. So I'm of the belief I could be incredibly wrong here, but I'm of the belief that we do not come into this world doubting ourselves. I truly believe that self-doubt is learned behavior because we're around a bunch of people who don't support us, who aren't positive influences on us. And society doesn't help, right? Society almost wants to crush you down. All society really wants from you is you to be a productive member of the economy, to make money and pay taxes and buy products. That's all society wants from you. So society doesn't give a crap about whether or not you believe in yourself. So it's not going to often behave in a way to make that happen for you, right? Usually we only learn how to believe in ourselves if we are around very supportive people. And if you lucked out and had parents who are like that, that's awesome. But many people don't, because a lot of people have parents who are imperfect themselves, never took the time to work on themselves, so they immediately pass on all their own insecurities to their children. So if that's the case for you, realize that you can go against all this conditioning. Yeah, you had the cards stacked against you to begin with, but now that you're an adult, you can work on dismantling all that crap that was spoon-fed to you while you were growing up. My parents were great and they really did their best, but they were not able to bring me into the world in such a way that as a young adult I had zero self-doubt. So it is what it is, right? And we probably can't even fully rely on our parents to teach us that anyway, because they're not the only thing influencing us when we're growing up. You have bullies, which I dealt with. I was super short growing up until actually it was like early college where I finally grew to the height I am now. And even now I am not tall by any means, and I have some really tall friends, so when I stand next to them I look like a child. So yeah, I had to deal with bullies, and that certainly did not help me believe in myself. And then I had teachers who, some of them were amazing and really great, but then I also had ones that were it's like they hated their life, so they took it out on the children, and that didn't help me either. So I've certainly had influences that made it so I developed a form of self-doubt. But I took it upon myself once I hit adulthood and realized how I had been conditioned like that. I took it upon myself to start getting rid of a lot of it. I'm not completely done. I still have self-doubt, but at least now it's very minimal. Like, it's almost to the point where the only time I really doubt myself is when I'm lacking resources that I need to do what I want to do. Usually money, which is really annoying, but yeah, so it's usually more so external factors that make me have any doubt. And even then, it's not really self-doubt, actually, now that I think of it. It's more just doubt in me being able to do it because I lack the resources. But I know if I had the resources, I'd be able to do it fine. So yeah, maybe it's not even self-doubt in that way. But basically, what I'm driving at is you can get to a point where you are also able to greatly minimize self-doubt. You can get to a point where really the only things that will stop you are things outside of you, because you can't control those things. But you won't doubt yourself at all, because you'll know how to control yourself, and you'll know everything you're capable of, and you'll remind yourself of everything you've done up until now, and you'll also have this supportive mindset that you'll work on doing by dismantling all that childhood conditioning, rejecting all those BS ways of thinking, and starting to do what I like to call treating yourself the way you would a best friend or someone you deeply care about, because you're not going to constantly be unsupportive of them, right? You're not going to constantly beat them down and self-sabotage them, and, well, I shouldn't say self-sabotage, sabotage them, right? You're not going to do that because this is someone you care about. Realize you can treat yourself the same way. You can be your own cheerleader. You can motivate yourself. You can be supportive of yourself. You can believe in yourself. So why not start doing that? That actually requires like zero work. It just requires you starting to do it now, like literally maybe putting reminders on your phone or on post-it notes on your mirror, whatever it may be. Just start believing in yourself and practicing these things and being your own friend. You really don't have to do a ton of work. It's more like consistency, really. It's more just doing tiny things every single day, and over time it adds up to you being incredibly strong and solid in your own belief of yourself. So start practicing that now. You don't have to wait for anything. You don't need to wait for the right moment. Just start doing it today. Start being your own best friend. And now the third and final tip that I have for you today, which is do difficult things. This one is the last tip for obvious reason, right? You kind of need to practice the other two first before you get here, because if you start by just doing more difficult things, it may actually be detrimental. It may actually make you not believe in yourself all that much, because yeah, these are difficult things. But the powerful thing behind doing more difficult things once you've already practiced steps 1 and 2 is that now you can start proving it to yourself. You can start showing yourself that you have what it takes to do difficult things. And that will, of course, make you develop a rock solid mindset and confidence in yourself. It will give you that incomparable lack of self-doubt because you will be able to do all these difficult things that you set your mind to, all these life goals and whatnot. You'll be able to start taking action towards them and accomplishing them. You probably should aim to start a bit smaller, of course, like maybe the difficult thing you want to do is lose 10 pounds in 3 months or something. That's something that is very manageable that almost everyone can do. So start there. Start going to the gym, exercising, whatever it may be, eating healthier, and then you can accomplish that goal. And then create a new goal. Maybe you want to find a new job. Okay, now give yourself maybe 6 months for that. Or now maybe you have another goal of moving to another country or another area or whatever it may be. Just start creating goals for yourself. Start doing difficult things and proving to yourself that you have what it takes to actually do them. Because the more you can do that, I mean, what's going to stop you after a while, right? If you start showing yourself that you have what it takes to do all these difficult things you didn't think you previously could do, what's going to stop you, right? So that's the whole point of this last tip. It's basically just putting everything into practice and developing that resume of prior experiences that you can always look to whenever you're doubting yourself. And especially, don't listen to anyone who may doubt you. Like, I've almost grown to a point where when people start doubting me, I almost laugh. I'm like, I try not to do it while they're there because I don't want to come off arrogant, but I'll laugh in my head because I'm like, really? They're doubting me? Do they not know me? Because I just have that rock solid belief in myself that almost anything I set my mind to I can do within reason. Of course, I don't think if I jump off a cliff, I'll sprout wings on the way down and fly away. It's within reason, but usually when people doubt me, I just find it funny because it's usually more an issue of motivation. Maybe they doubt me in becoming a CEO of a company, but that's because I have no desire to do that. But I fully believe I would be capable, and should I say am capable of doing that if I actually wanted to. I just have no desire because that's not something I want. So there you go. The more that you practice all these things, you can get to a similar place where whenever people doubt you, and hopefully, especially whenever you doubt yourself, you'll be able to just realize that's stupid because you've done all these difficult things. You have this rock solid mindset in your back pocket, this toolbox that you can use to conquer self-doubt and not listen to anyone who doubts you because they don't know you well enough to know what you're capable of. So there you go. That's pretty much the gist of this video. That's everything I wanted to share with you here. These are tips that have worked well for me, and I hope that they'll work for you as well. But yeah, please let me know your thoughts on these. If you start practicing these things, please come back and let me know how they actually worked, how they made your life better, and what difficult things you've been able to accomplish, and how your self-doubt doesn't hold you back anymore. Because I would love to hear these stories. That's the whole reason I make these videos, because I want to hear about how you guys are becoming a lot better, how you're leveling up. I mean, it's really cool to see, and it's one of those things that whenever I have my moments of kind of not feeling so great and not feeling motivated to make videos, it's not because I don't enjoy the videos, it's just because, you know, anxiety and stress will kind of beat me down and lower my mental health enough that then I don't feel motivated, like I lack the energy to make a video. But whenever I see comments from you guys saying how the videos have helped you, it's like, it sparks me basically to continue doing it even when I'm not feeling all that great. And hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There pretty much is. I've got plans in place to escape these situations that have been draining me and making me feel anxious and stressed. So I've got a plan in place. I'll be putting into action this year. So hopefully soon enough, I won't really have these things draining me and making me not feel like making videos anymore. So I'll be able to pump out a lot more. But for now, I do apologize for the fact that I haven't really been making them all that consistently. I've been doing my daily reminder videos because they're easy enough, but I really haven't been making these longer form videos, which are what I enjoy the most. This is what I really want to do, and I haven't been doing them all that much. So it sucks. It's not ideal. It's not what I want, but I'm working on getting away from all these things that are draining my energy that I don't like. So yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The future will be great, and I'm glad you guys are here for the journey, and I'm glad I've been able to handle all this crap because I've been dealing with it for a while now, and Yeah, this is the power of mindset, guys. It allows you to get through a bunch of crap that you don't like and be able to handle it for way more months than you really intend to, but it makes it so it doesn't beat you down. But yeah, anyway, that's enough about my current situation. I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did like it, then be sure to throw a thumbs up for the algorithm. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!